But there won't be quite as much fumbling and bumbling with this one, because I've played this deck a little bit. This hand's pretty bad, especially against Paladin. I'm gonna full mulligan. We're looking for some of our cards that allow us to impact the board early. Fan of Knives is also a high priority take. Hench-Clan Thug is fantastic here, so we have to curve our weapon right into that.
None will survive.
Odd Paladin. So, because I have Hench-Clan Thug in my hand, I'm definitely gonna weapon on 2. I might not attack, but I guess if they're firing this up, I'm just gonna start attacking because I want to kill their stuff. Yeah, I probably need to keep their board in check. Our hero power does a good job of keeping their board in check, because right, like 1 hero activation from us kills 1 hero activation from them, even if we have to do it over 2 turns. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me that they just did that there. Do I just clear now? I think I'm just gonna clear now. Usually you want to just keep their board in check as much as possible, and I think trying to get more than this is a little bit greedy. You really think Thug's better here? That leaves them 2/1/1s. The easiest way you lose these games is allowing your opponent to really get on the board and to have a board position. I think I like just keeping their board super clean. You gotta tell me why, chat. I might believe you later, but you have to tell me why. How much it costs to build a competitive deck in Hearthstone? Tempo Mage can be had somewhere between like $50 and $100, $50 to $100, depending on what you open.
Here we go.
Speak your peace.
I get to kill my thing. Firefly's a great pickup here. I think we're again just going to stay in like damage control mode on their board. They could level up next turn, so we want to try and keep their Silverhand recruits as many dead as possible. Any suggestion what to do for there? I think Miracle Rogue is very reasonable right now. So if you look at current lists, you could probably just build Miracle Rogue. You could also Tempo Mage is very reasonable deck. Odd Rogue is also pretty good. Tar Creeper's annoying, but not the end of the world. Probably going to go. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just sap this. And then I get to go ahead and do this and kind of keep, again, we just want to keep their board in check so they can't get a good level up turn off. Strider gives us a lot of really scary draws in our deck, which is nice. Yeah, Odd Rogue and Spell Hunter are the 2 decks that I used to climb up to rank 5 on the ladder this season.
Reporting for duty. Nice to meet you.
Freezing our 4/4 really sucks for us. Our health total is getting a little bit low at this point. I really hope we draw something that we can use to maybe combo with this Minstrel or keep their board in check. Like, obviously, like, Fan of Knives is the stones here. That's a beating. We're gonna take a ton of damage here. We're taking 6, and if I want to weapon up and kill that, I have to take 5 more. That's pretty good. Into a sap. Sap takes the bonus off of this, right? If I sap this, it loses the plus power. So that's probably worthwhile. I'm gonna do this and hopefully draw Firefly.
There once
Not so lucky. It's pretty unlikely to Firefly there. There's only one of them in our deck. Good chance we just get run out of the game. I think chat was right that I burned the first Fan of Knives too early. The fact that they had the like Lost in the Jungle as the follow-up was pretty damning. I'm gonna concede to a level up here if they have it. Yeah. That's the card you want to that's the card you want to try and keep their board in check for. Gives all their Silverhand recruits +2/+2. It's fine. 5-minute game. Shake the dust off. Move on to the next one. This might sound stupid, but how do I go and build the deck without vendors? So you buy booster packs, JMP. And so there's how crafting works. If you've never played a game with a crafting system in it before, is you can destroy any cards that you don't want for 25% their value, and then you can directly build any card that you're interested in having. It's a lot easier to not stew on bad beats and tough losses when they go quickly. Much easier to not stew on them. Couple different hunter variants going around. Could be spell hunter, but I saw like Kibler was playing like what's it called, the like secret keeper spell hunter mid range, I think would be the best way to phrase it. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pass here. I'm gonna wait until I can Hench-Clan Thug to attack them. That's really annoying. I don't really have a good answer to that. I guess I'm just going like Shiv plus attack that. This is a standard deck that we're currently playing.
Here we go.
I just need to take that off the table. That was easily the best companion to hit there. That's a lot of secrets. Playing this out first might be a little bit loose if they have the explosion trap down here, which they do. Am I going to watch the Pro Tour? I don't know, probably not. I don't really play standard. I definitely won't watch the limited portion. Where is it at? If it's in the United States, maybe I'll pay attention to it. That's a lot of wolves. I guess I can like coin out this Vilespine and Vilespine one of the wolves and then like trade my Thug into another.
So many options.
It basically wins off of value. Okay. I think we're dead. I think we're just gonna get run out of this game. Yeah, freezing trap's the only one that wouldn't have triggered, right? Yeah, very dead. Maybe this deck's not good. It's a tempo deck. It's a deck that where when you get behind on board like this, you don't really have catch-up mechanics. So like when our opponent had the turn 5 or the on-curve Spellstone for 4 wolves, we just like really don't have a good way to come back from that. We don't have sweepers. Once their board gets out of control and you don't have a board to keep their board in check, you're just pretty much behind and not going to come back. It's a tiny edges, like use every bit of the Buffalo style deck. Mage. I don't think any of these cards are good against Mage. The most common Mage deck right now is Tempo Mage. They could be big spell control Mage, but Tempo's a little bit more popular.
You like my invention?
That could be the control deck. Or it could just be Tempo trying this as a 2-drop. I mean, Tempo Mage is basically a burn deck, right? Okay, so not Tempo Mage, looking like a control deck. I think I'm just gonna coin Strider out this turn. Just like get these. So this shuffles 3 cards into my deck that when we draw them, we get a free 4/4, which is nice. My next turn, if they don't kill this, I think I'm gonna go kill this, Shadowstep, and then play this. Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna be my line here. So yeah, I'm gonna kill this. I'm gonna Shadowstep this back to my hand, and then I'm gonna go ahead and play this with combo.
There once was a man from Gilneas.
Does this deck have good matchups?
The end is coming!
Yeah, we just have to take this off the table. I can't let them take all my pressure off. You're definitely right that I should have, could have, and should have killed the 3/5 with my weapon last turn. The dagger doesn't kill the 3/5 this turn. You're a little bit behind, Nukes. As far as your stream delay goes, to 4/6. Correct. I'm aware of why I was supposed to have done that. I didn't do it because I missed the line, but I'm aware of why it was the better line. This is kind of playing into their Flame Wake or whatever it's called, the deal 4 to everything. Yeah, Flame Strike. Alright, I'm just gonna do this into the agent here. And then next turn, I can go Auctioneer into prep, Eviscerate, and like get some card draw going and make some 4/4s hopefully. Well, now we're gonna double Eviscerate that probably, right? Unless I draw a sap here. Alright, let's try and dodge. They have so many sweepers, so I assume even though this looks really good for us, we're just gonna get fucked this turn. I believe that the person that said this matchup is not good, which probably means this deck just isn't very good. It seems like all of the everything we're just getting dumpstered against. Maybe trading with the 3/3 is fine. Just like takes the resource off the table. Yeah, I'm just gonna Just gonna try a new one. If we word that game at a couple of points. This is the type of deck where all of the edges are really small, and like the actual power level of the deck's not going to carry you through to anything, especially in a matchup where they can sweep your only power. Like the only powerful thing this deck is doing is getting free 4/4s, and the opponent's deck just doesn't care about free 4/4s.
Valera versus Jaina.
You asked for it. Watch your back.
Backstab Agent SI. Actually, all these cards seem pretty reasonable. Backstab Agent SI is really good against Tempo Mage to keep their pressure down. So, generally speaking, in card games, and this translates from Hearthstone to Magic to whatever, bad decks or decks that are underpowered, you always hear people say things like, oh, it's actually fine, you just have to like play really tight. And what that means is that the actual power level of the deck is much lower than the other decks that see play in the format. But if you are really good, you're gonna beat people with this deck that's not very good because you are a better player than the other people that you're playing against. Is what it comes down to a lot of the time. And that's just true of any deck, right? Like sure, if you're a good player, you're gonna beat people regardless of what you're playing with, right? Like ham sandwich type situation. I have no idea why people think Death and Taxes is good. I think the only reason people talk about like Death and Taxes in Legacy especially is because it's just so cheap to build. It's another big spell control mage.
What to do? What to do?
Man, it's another control mage.
Here we go.
Just gonna put pressure into play here. No, it's a different opponent. The previous opponent had the alternate art hero power. Alternate art hero, they had the foil shiny, whatever you want to call it.
Welcome. Hey, lights out.
Getting all the spiders going early is good. We got a good amount of power in play here. I'm told the reason why it's called Miracle Rogue has to do with a card that's no longer legal in the deck. Yeah, this is definitely the control deck. Huh.
Welcome to my world.
Hey, lights out.
It's a good deck to start with because there are nuances that make it even better, but yep. Yep. It's gonna be a blizzard. Yep, it's big spell again. This card really doesn't do anything in this matchup, so I'm just gonna play it out to draw a card. Yep.
Here we go.
I'm gonna hold on to this other one so I can trigger Vilespine with it potentially. I assume they're gonna have a Flame Strike or another Blizzard here. I can't Flame Strike us yet. They could have another Blizzard though. If they don't have another Blizzard, we might be able to steal this. Nope, Meteor will do it. I'm tired of you just telling me I'm wrong. You gotta be more constructive than that, or you can go away.
Here we go.
I used my weapon in the wrong order there because I'm just not gonna play this matchup. I'm not having fun. We're just gonna die. Let's try and get a better matchup. It's been a slow slide down all my stars there. Been a slow slide down.
Valera versus my Ev.
None can escape my fury. Watch your back.
All right, I definitely want the Hench-Clan Thug. I'm certainly mulliganing these. Because we're on the draw, I think the Vilespine's probably fine to keep. Like, coin Vilespine on 4 is real good. Find out if they're playing Odd Rogue yet. Nope. Could be Quest Rogue. Could be a Miracle Mirror. What's the plan after this? I'm not playing more Magic today. We're gonna play Hearthstone for another hour and a half, 2 hours or so, and then I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. We started about 9 o'clock this morning, so there was a bunch of Magic this morning. So it isn't quite published on YouTube yet. It'll be live after I'm done later tonight. But if you want to watch it sooner rather than later because you're a sub, you can check the VOD archive on Twitch now. Played a bunch of Modern this morning. It must just be Miracle Rogue, right?
Here we go.
I think I want to just poke at one of these. This might encourage them to trade into here.
Give me a quest.
Speaking of questing adventurer. Yep. This is probably going to be the coin Vilespine turn 4 I mentioned earlier. Just take their guy out before it gets too large. I'm going to go ahead and hold on to my attack for now, especially since I have the Hench-Clan Thug in my hand. Offers a valuable boost later, and there's nothing on board I can really kill, and like adding 1 damage to anything isn't particularly valuable currently.
The Brotherhood shall prevail.
It's pretty good. I think I'm gonna sap Edwin here, and then go Thug, attack you for 1, make my Thug larger. That seems fine.
Here we go.
Yeah, definitely just a mirror.
The light protects me.
Each Ardent Swire's interesting in their deck. Is he sideways? Why is he sideways? Help, I need an adult. So they're down to 1 card. I'm gonna do this into Backstab. Shadowstep's pretty good too. Into Prep. And just draw a bunch of cards here. I think I'm just gonna Shiv this. Pick up 2, see what we get. Do I want to Shadowstep this back to my hand? I I don't think that I do. I think I'm just gonna pass the turn here and let him have the option to trade his 6/6 down into it. Because I wouldn't mind trading this into a 6/6 next turn, I don't think. That's a lot of card draw. Casual draw 4. That's a good last card. Yeah, so like next turn I can go Fan, Shiv, 4/4 trade in. Yeah, that works out fine for me too because I save 6 points of health here. And I have to go ahead and hit my weapon here. And again, I'm not going to use my weapon just yet because I have the Thug in my hand. Next turn I can go 3/3/2. Oh, and just like that, we have a nice full game here. So I'm gonna go ahead and go this into. We playing Magic soon? No, we're all done with Magic for today. We played Magic all morning. If you're always interested in finding my schedule, you can check it on my website, jeffhoagland.com/gaming. I list what games I intend to play and when they're usually. So Tuesday and Thursday afternoons are always Hearthstone, and then basically all day Monday and Friday are Magic, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday mornings are Magic. That's an interesting inclusion. Huh. That's a motherfucker and a half to beat through. I guess they don't have anything else to do here. Prep's kind of annoying. I kill one of my things. That's unfortunate. I was gonna say I can attack in and then trade and then trade. The original list I copied didn't have sprint in it, so I'm not playing sprint. We get to clean the board out pretty nicely here. I get to do this into poke this, eviscerate this, trade here. And then I'm actually going to end up ahead on board here, right? I get to go ahead and play Elven Minstrel too. This Vilespine should do some work for us. That's unfortunate. Well, looks like we're fucking dead. Yep. Yep. Exactly fucking dead. Oh, we were in an okay spot. We just didn't have enough health. Their build's kind of neat. The Rotting Apple Bomb seems great. The fact that this deck can't really, or this build especially, can't really gain any health seems like a pretty big drawback. It's definitely one that comes up in these aggressive matchups. It's like the only way you can really come back from like being really low on health is just like jumping up and killing them by surprise, which isn't good enough a lot of the time, I feel like. Now you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Valir versus my elf.
None can escape my fury. Watch your back.
It's the same person that we just played. I can't lose stars anyways. I'm gonna take a second and eat a snack here and wait for them to requeue so we don't queue back into them.
Lyra versus Gul'dan.
Your soul shall be mine.
Watch your back.
So I don't really know what Warlock means yet post nerfs. There's been some zoo builds. There's been some even Warlock decks that have been running around. I think I'm gonna full mulligan, just like looking for Hench-Clan Thug here. What's going on, Tom? Howdy. Afternoon. This hand's very good. Firefly likely means zoo. Yeah, Prince almost certainly means zoo. We're gonna keep their board in check pretty nicely here, though. Prince on 2 is pretty scary because it means their board's gonna be big, but I do get to go ahead. Maybe my sequencing here is bad, actually. Was I supposed to... Yeah, maybe I was supposed to go coin SI there. Do I play any Hearthstone off stream? If so, what have I been playing? I mostly just do my quests every day. I just play like whatever, since I have cards for a lot of different things now, which was secretly why I wanted to start streaming, to justify buying cards. I just have cards to do whatever my quest is. Save coin for Auctioneer. Yeah, that's fair. Definitely got to take Flappy Bird off the table. So let's just cut that right on out of there. I did just buy the 2... because I wanted to poke at some wild stuff myself at some point and like have more cards for it eventually, potentially. So I bought 2 of the adventures that they have that you get cards from, because people said those were kind of amusing. So I plan to do some of those adventures off stream. That's a 5/5.
Here we go.
The thing about the weapon in this deck is, like, nicking them for 1 doesn't really add up that often, and you don't have the resources available most of the time to use your weapon every other turn. So you're not really missing out on a lot by not using the weapon super aggressively, especially when you have a thug to work up it. I think this is gonna be the last game with this deck. Excuse me. This deck does not seem particularly good. Yeah, it's really awesome, Marty. It's quite fantastic.
This guy's toast.
Correct. Yeah, it's super smooth. Yep. Yeah, they do a really good job of having an extremely balanced metagame around all of the classes having a mostly playable deck. It's quite excellent. The competitive diversity is very reasonable, it feels like. At least for this season that I've been playing. Alright, yeah, let's try something else. This deck does not seem particularly good.